Welcome back to the channel. If you are new in my readings, I bring through wisdom, messages, and healing from your guides, ancestors, and often through the Akashic Records. And today I have something really special for you. I'm going to be channeling your loved ones who have crossed over into the spirit world, bringing you messages of comfort, inspiration, guidance, and reassurance. As always, these are collective readings, so they could apply to very few of you or to a lot of you. So just take what resonates. Often they come through with signs and specific information that really do resonate with those that listen. So let's just stay connected and be sure to pay attention to what comes through. All right, I'm going to just ask them to come in and to see what messages they have. I'm going to actually start with these postcards. Postcards from your loved ones. Let's just bring through a message. I'm feeling this one first. So this is the first one. I'll read this to you. Dearest you, there is only one you, and you have a unique path and a special purpose. You're supposed to have specific experiences in this world and meet certain people, but then it's up to you how you live, how awake you choose to be, and how willing you are to grow and strip away what's false. Don't compare yourself to others. It's easy to think a person is happier just because their outside looks good according to society's standards, but you can't know anyone's internal experience. Compare yourself only to your past self. See how far you've come. Don't be distracted by what others are doing or accomplishing. Stay focused on what inspires you. That's how you get successful and find happiness. Want what you have now, not what someone else has. We love you immensely and know your journey ahead is sparkling with miracles and wondrous things. Just trust. Loving you forever and ever. So the first thing I'm really feeling is I do feel a grandmother energy coming through. This grandmother feels like someone's grandmother on your father's side, and she feels very comforting. She feels very reassuring. I feel like she specifically, I'm seeing an image of her when you're about 7 or 8 years old, because she's looking down upon you and she's putting her arms out to encourage you. And so let's just see what message comes through. So here we go. There she is. The Empress is coming through. Just this loving energy of the Empress. Then we're getting the King of Pentacles. This feels like grandfather on your dad's side. And then finally, Nine of Cups. So we have several loved ones coming through all together. We're going to start with our Empress, your grandmother on this side. Let's see what her message is. Oh, the first thing I'm really feeling about her and what I can see from her is I do feel like when she was younger, she did have dark hair. And she's telling me she was a brunette. She was very pretty. And I feel like she would have been in her teenage years in the 1950s. So that's what the woman I'm seeing coming through. She really enjoyed wearing like red lipstick, having her hair done. She loved having, putting on dresses. And she's talking about the sock hop. So that would have been something specific. So we have the moon in reverse. Now, when I do these cards, the way I've learned is that when they're in reverse, that's a message from them on the other side. So it's a little bit different. So we have the moon coming through for this loved one. Then we also have the Page of Swords, which is a message trying to get through to you. What I'm hearing from her specifically, she's really wanting you to be in touch with your intuition. And she's also making me feel like you're making a big decision related to what you're going to study or work, and that you're just at the point of either signing up for new classes or something that you're going to be doing instructionally. And she's just saying, take a chance. That's really what I'm hearing her say, take a chance. She's mentioning that you have felt a little bit frightened of what's coming up and how things will work. And she says sometimes you get a little too trapped in your head and you second guess yourself. And so she's really suggesting that you take time out. She's actually showing me you taking big, deep breaths and trying to, move out of the anxiety by doing that. Now, I also want to let you know someone is an air sign that's either connected to you or her. I'm pulling the Daughter of Swords, which is essentially the Page of Swords, which is an air sign. So this could be you are an air sign or she was an air sign, but she's definitely trying to get her message through. She loves you so much. That's what I'm hearing. Again, we're going to have a few other loved ones coming through, so stick with me. We're getting the Ace of Wands in reverse, which is their connection, right? And then we're also getting the Six of Cups. So that's definitely a family message, okay? The Wands, beginning something, starting something new. She just makes me feel like this is a time when, you need to really go for it, whatever you're passionate about. She wants you to know, I feel like she's sort of touching you on the arm. You do sometimes feel her almost like brush up against you. I also am hearing her say that sometimes you smell her, either the soap that she would use or the perfume that she wore. She has just this feeling of, like I said, she really feels feminine to me, right? The Six of Cups is family, right? That is sentimental family. I'm also getting a number with her. Now, this could be the age of her passing, but it can also be something significant for someone, like a birth year or a graduation year. And that number is 88. 88 is what she's showing me. Oh, there's a lot coming out. All right, so we're pulling the Strength card and then the Seven of Swords. Okay, so this feels to me, what she's mentioning is that this is your relationship, I think possibly with your dad, okay? Which is, it feels like that could be her son or someone that's like a father to you, an older male figure. And this is you sort of understanding, Seven of Swords, that maybe your dad or this older male doesn't always say the right thing, sometimes pulls his energy away from you and makes you sometimes second guess yourself. And she's telling me this is specifically like his insecurity, that it has nothing to do with you. So she really wants you to distinguish between the men in your life and their issues and who you are. She's making me feel like it's just so important for you to have confidence in yourself and to not second guess at all who you are, what you're doing. It's almost like I feel, because of this relationship with this older male, that you tend to second guess yourself. And it's possibly because of wanting him to either validate or show interest in what you're doing and for you to gain confidence in this way. But she's really letting me know that that may not necessarily happen the way you hope. Okay. And again, this is this grandmother figure coming through for you. This can also be someone's mother as well. But the look of her definitely is that she had brunette hair. I will tell you that. So that's my sign for a mother figure. The butterfly, in this case, this would be a monarch butterfly, Two of Pentacles. So you're deciding between a few things, Four of Swords. So and this is all to do with like the track I mentioned you're probably going on and how you'll earn money, what you're going to do. You're looking at possibly taking out loans or having to borrow money for something. This could also be a business you're building, I do want to say. But she's really saying with this Four of Swords, like, take your time. I'm moving into some things that I think might have happened to her. I feel like however she passed, it was related to the chest. And then also she had some things going on in her stomach. So you would understand this about her and some of the things that happened to her throughout her life. I feel like she probably had some issues with what her being able to eat certain foods, and her diet got much more restrictive as she got older. So that's something she is mentioning to me. So let's give her final message, and then we're going to move on to our next loved one. And let me know in the comments if this is resonating and if any of you can take this, because again, it can be for several people. That's how spirit works. Spirit's very efficient. All right, what's this message here, please? Magic opportunity. How exciting. Clear the path. So this is just her again. She's coming in really encouraging you to take this opportunity to move forward in this direction. Again, I'm feeling like you would be starting in the fall, September, possibly October, in this, what you're moving forward towards. And here we have clear the path. So your ancestors really do help you, especially in the everyday life that we live, because they've already lived here. They know the way and they can see things objectively. And she's just trying to really say, keep going. You're moving in the right direction. This is exactly what you need to be doing right now. So keep moving in that direction. That's what she's giving me. All right. I want to send you so much love. That's our first loved one. We're going to move forward to this father figure, this grandfather, father figure, the King of Pentacles. Wow. So one thing about this gentleman or this male coming forward for me is I feel like he was a little bit mysterious in some ways. That's what he's showing me. And I think he maybe sometimes had a bit of a difficult time expressing himself, but he's saying that you intuitively would understand him. I want to say I feel like this is on your mother's side, this male, or it could be father. So um he definitely feels like I want to say I think he passed probably in his either very late 60s or 70s. That's what I'm getting for him for an age. I feel like he would have been someone who would have been in the garage and kind of tinkering around in his workshop. I can see him having this old tool chest with like hammer, nails, screws, and anything he would love to just fix things. And when if you had something that broke or someone had something that needed fixing, he would bring it into the in his workshop and he would fix it. And he just had this lovely way of doing that. He's saying to me that he expressed his love for his family with his hands. So this is not something that he did um, as much verbally. He said he had a hard time with communicating. So he said, sometimes people would be a little bit intimidated by him or maybe even afraid of him. And it was just because he was sort of like one of those quieter people. But I feel like you knew that he loved you. That's really what I'm getting. Yes. So the Emperor energy is coming in here with them. And then the Temperance card. Wow, this is very powerful. We're getting a lot of messages, friend. Temperance. These are all major arcana. So a lot is coming in. Let me just channel this with him for a minute. So I almost feel like for some of you, and this could be both of you, you have two older males in the spirit world. So there either is grandfather, father, that's on your mom's side, but also there's a feeling of like a close uncle or someone that could have been really connected to your dad's side. So you have a few. The other thing I want to say about you is I think you are a natural medium. So I wouldn't be surprised if you have had seen spirit or seen even one of them. And I feel like this is interestingly enough, looks like you saw them like almost at nighttime or outside. It wasn't even inside per se, or it could have been something of both, right? It could have been both experience because I'm getting this image of I'm sitting on the porch and I could see sort of an outline of a spirit. And whether this was him, one of your loved ones, or whether you're starting to see things, he is really recognizing you are starting to see things. So that's part of it. The other thing is I do feel like you have female ancestors around you. They're really funny. They almost remind me of the Richardson sisters or something, which is they're, like that are witches. And they are the Sanderson, sorry, the Sanderson sisters. And they're funny, they're witchy. I think that they would have been on your mom's side. So they couldn't even have been like great aunts or something like that, or like great aunts, and they're hysterical. So you have a lot of loved ones coming in for this person specifically. So we have a lot to unpack, which is funny. I want to say you would know that one of these aunties was really a fast driver. That's what I'm seeing with this chariot card, as though they would drive really fast and people would tell them to slow down and they really didn't care. They were doing their own thing. They definitely had a sense of wanting to feel free. I also feel like at one time they probably smoked cigarettes. That's what I'm getting because I can smell smoke. And then I kind of feel like they're one of those, right? They're funny. All right. So Four of Cups is here. There. So she's this one especially. Sorry, I know I'm going through like three spirits. We will get there. But sometimes they come in all at once, and family members can be like that, right? They kind of all merge. Four of Cups is here. So this is her stubbornness. We're still talking about the female. And then her energy is like scattered everywhere. She's funny. One of them specifically. So I don't know if all of these relatives would like connect per se, or if I have three separate ones coming forward, but I'm just allowing them to flow through in this reading. So some pieces of these readings might apply, to some of them. So just take what evidence resonates. We're getting 10 of Cups. So this is for someone who had a big family. 10 of Cups is like I'm seeing this big table here with all these family members, people talking over each other. I almost feel like some of you might have had like a big Irish Catholic family. That's what I'm hearing. And that's why all these relatives are sort of coming and layered on top of each other. I also feel like somebody probably was Catholic, or in the family could have been Catholic. I'm hearing that too. I'm hearing the words grandpa. I'm also hearing the name Richard or Rich. So that could mean something for someone here as well. We have the Four of Pentacles coming through and the Five of Swords. So one thing about it feels like I'm going back to the grandfather here. And I feel like there could have been something that he dealt with financially that really gave him a hit. And it makes me feel like he internalized all that and took on a tremendous amount of stress. And I feel like this could have been something to do either with the company that he worked for, the business he worked for, but it really sat with him and was something that was quite a burden. He's saying you may or may not know about that. He did really keep things close to his chest. So he didn't let a lot of people know about what was going on. But he was very heartbroken. It feels like he was let down by the company he worked for. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, I'm hearing grandpa. So let's talk about the uncle. He's coming in. So I feel like the uncle is one of those people that is funny, has a good sense of humor, a little bit light. I feel like a couple things with him. Either he was, never had children of his own, or he was distant from his own children. There was a sense of him being almost, it feels like he's more of a bachelor or someone that sort of did his own thing. All right, let's see what else we have. So we're getting ignite creation. I feel like this is the aunties coming in again, and commit to the journey. They're bringing their messages in now for you. And then finally, we're getting serene haven, embrace tranquility. So it's funny how they're all kind of talking over each other. The only one who doesn't talk over is your grandfather or this older man. And let me just tune in and see what they're saying. They're making me feel like possibly someone is going through some kind of either a divorce, a breakup, a separation of some type, a moving on, or difficulty in your relationship. And that they're mentioning that you are a very committed person. You are someone who has worked very hard. You've been very dedicated to the people in your life, to the people you're committed to. And I'm hearing that a lot of the reason this happens is because you grew up with a family that was very hardworking and loyal. And they were very committed to family, right? Even if it was a broken family, they were very committed. But right now you are feeling like the wind has got knocked out of you. So they're really trying to encourage you. And this is part of this ignite creation. And I love all the colors coming through. And I feel like the aunties are saying, get your flow back, get your creativity back, get your mojo back. because you've lost it. And it's interesting how we have, in this way, we have commitment, but now we have commit to the journey. So for me, what they're saying is this may be time to think about what's your next step, what's best for you, what's best for your best interest, for your loved ones, and for the things that are important that you value. Then we're getting serene haven. Embrace tranquility as your refuge, where serenity blossoms and peace unfolds your being. So, especially your grandfather, again, he's a man of few words, or this loved one, this older man. And he's really saying that, you need to embrace and stay steady, not for this other person, but for you. And they are really just wanting you to get very clear on what's the most important thing for you. All right, that's what I have for these loved ones. That was a lot of information. Let me know in the comments if any of that resonated for some of you. And we're going to move on to our next loved one. Let's see what we're getting. So a name is coming through for me. It's a C name. So this could be connected to her or someone in your family or you. And I feel like this is on your mother's side. This name feels like Clara or Karen or Carol or Carrie. It's a C name, right? So again, this woman is very proud and she has a sense of how you do things. She, I would say, was probably someone who was strict and really made sure that, say, when you come into the house, that you took your shoes off. When you came in, you wash your hands, that you go get freshened up, you get ready for dinner, or you get your homework done, or you sit down or you play with your toys, and then you do then your work. There's just a sense of real structure here for her. And she definitely kept a very clean house, is what I'm hearing. She also did not like people rushing through dinner. She really made sure that everybody ate what was on their plate, or at least they got a good meal in. This was important to her. She was a formidable woman, and she took her time. Knight of Wands here. It's interesting because so I feel like she could be connected to either a father figure of yours, or she had a son. It feels like that could also be your uncle or someone that's very connected. That's a brother to her. But this male in her life, which could have been a son or a brother, was totally the opposite of her. Like very impulsive, very creative, didn't think things through. And I feel like this is the type of thing that there was conflict there, because that male wanted to be able to go and do what they wanted to do. There was something, and you will know about this. She's also looking at me talking to you, and she's saying she would say to you, sit up straight, sit up straight. And she had a thing also in general about being proper. So that feels important. And here we are getting the death card with her. But which, the death card is also transformation, but let me just see what I'm getting. So I want to talk about with her, she might have died a while back. Okay. But there is a little bit of still questions around her passing, and I'm going to talk about that now. She's mentioning how I feel like she definitely passed away at night. I feel like I'm in my bed. Okay. I also want to talk about, I think possibly she had like a blood clot or a stroke. Something happened, and I feel like she either went into a coma state or passed within a 24 to 40-hour period after this happened. But I want to talk about, even when I'm looking at her bedroom and her bed, she had a nightstand and there's a glass of water just sitting there right next to her. And I feel like she either had she knew she had something either with blood pressure or that she needed to be able to have medication on her nightstand. She's showing me that. So something that you may or may not know. But she's also letting me know she kind of leaned into death. She had a feeling, I want to say, I feel like she's very psychic. She might not have talked about it, but she is telling me that she kind of had a foreboding feeling that she might pass. And she knew she wanted to get certain things done. She's showing me an image of like getting her papers in order. Page of Cups. And then the Page of Wands. Again, the Knight of Wands, Page of Wands. She's showing me specifically like I had a son. That's what it feels like. And I want to say I feel like even her son might have been, or someone connected to her, male, might have been gay. Okay. That's what she's telling me. But she's telling me he was her prince. That's what I'm hearing. He was her prince, or whoever this male was. Very special relationship. And again, I see her having that sense of elegance. Like he might have even been someone who like would help her pick out earrings and things like that. So they had a close relationship in their own way. Again, this feels like it was a while ago, but you may know them. They could be family members or very close people that your family knows. I get a very strong sense of that. So she wants to give you messages specifically because she's making me feel like you're a person who's been asking for signs from the other side, and that you've been looking into, she's talking about the other world, right? Just in general, you have this allure towards this. And she's saying specifically that you were just someone who, like, you've been reading about things, you've been investigating. I want to say, I think you've been studying and also maybe doing your own intuitive development. And so she is really encouraging you to keep going with that. She thinks that that's just something really very special. Let me know in the comments if this is making sense. I'm going to pull some more of these. Red roses. She was a fan of those. She's also talking to me about her funeral, so we'll talk about that. Three of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, the Six of Pentacles. And then the Father of Cups, which is the father or the King of Cups. So a couple things she's telling me. First of all, she again liked nice things in the sense of she had a sense of elegance about her. I am seeing like red roses. So that would be something that she loved and appreciated. That's something that feels very strong with her. But I also feel like she was practical. That's one thing. So she's showing me her funeral specifically, and she's showing me people reading. I feel like probably reading passages from the Bible or certain sort of specific writings or scripture that she really enjoyed. And she said she really appreciated the songs that were sung and what was read and written. And she's showing me some images of like even the grandchildren being there, or these could also, I feel like this could also be like a great aunt too. I do want to talk about that. I do feel like her husband or partner, she was alone for a while. So he could have either passed away before her quite a while before, or they had been separated beforehand. And pick one more tarot card she's showing me. So we have the Five of Cups. So yes, it looks to me that's a card of grief, that my partner died. And I feel like she was alone for probably at least 8 years. That's what she's showing me. So you would know this as well. All right. I'm going to ask her to bring forth a message for you specifically. And again, let me know in the comments if pieces of this make sense to you. And if you all enjoy these type of channeled mediumship readings, let me know. This is new for me doing these on the channel, so I'm really excited to see what you feel. We have Steady as You Go. We have Release and Renew. And then finally we have Pathfinder. So, and this is interesting to me. I feel to me like this is like a grandmother energy. She's also mentioning, much like in the first reading, that you're navigating transition right now in your life. And she's actually she mentioned to me, it seems like you're thinking about moving, possibly moving abroad or traveling abroad. And she's saying you're really trying to find your way, that this is where you are right now. And she's saying, don't worry so much about what's coming down the road, that sometimes in life you need to have experiences. And even though she was someone who was very stable and measured and even a little controlled, she is really saying that that didn't always serve her because she had a hard time letting go of things and was a bit rigid. And that really feels to me like it ebbed at her. It sort of eroded and made her second guess things. And so she's saying to you, go for it. Just have fun. All right. I'm going to pull one more of these postcards from your loved ones and just, ooh, that came out right away. We'll see what this final one is. Again, if you've enjoyed this, please let me know in the comments. Here we go. Dear you. Sometimes you just feel like no one understands you, you're not heard, or even that you don't count. This, my dear, is a terrible illusion. And although your feelings tell you that abandonment is real, well, we who love you know better. You are never alone. And even when rejection happens, you are ultimately being protected so better things can replace what wouldn't have worked in the first place. Everyone on this side of the veil is watching over you and rooting for your ultimate success. Life loves you. We love you. And you are a unique spark of the divine and always connected to the light and to source. You are always in our care. Trust and keep the faith. Love you always and forever. What a beautiful message. I want to thank you all so much for joining me during this reading. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. We'll see you in the next one.